Hey everyone, it's Maury. Just a quick update. I wanted to let you know that I pulled the trigger on the lithium upgrade today. I made my selection for the parts that I'm going to work with, and I'll list those down below so that you can see what I have coming. But decided to go ahead and move forward. The weather's starting to get nice up at the cabin, and that's where I would like to do this work, just so that I can take advantage of the nice weather instead of staying down in the Phoenix area where it's going to, well, where it is already hot. But I will show you what I have in mind, and yeah, so let's talk about it. Again, sorry for my handwriting. This is just intended as a brief overview, but this kind of illustrates what we were talking about the other day. So I have the front of the van here. The current flooded coach batteries are in the floor here. And then this is all of the new stuff. So right here is where the generator is currently. Then I have the stuff that I'm going to be adding. So right here between the seats, I'll be building an enclosure where the 300 amp hour lithium battery will live. I did go with the single 300 just because of space constraints. I had originally thought about taking this space where the generator is. So this actually extends inside the cab underneath the seat, and there's a metal box. And I had thought about removing that metal box and creating a floor, keeping the batteries inside. Some other people that have done lithium upgrades in the Rialta have put the batteries inside the generator enclosure, but I don't want them to be outside. So I want to keep them inside. So I had considered removing this box and making a floor and stuff. It's not going to be as simple as I had hoped. So I'm just going to leave that generator box intact and instead move the battery further inside the coach, which probably is better anyway, but I'll build an enclosure that's got carpet and stuff on it so it'll look nice. And then there's a channel that runs right along the back of the van here where the wiring will go. So this 300 amp hour battery will service the inverter that I already have. The inverter will feed AC power to the fuse box. And then there will also be a line from the battery to the DC side of the fuse box. On the inbound side, I have the solar panel that's on the roof currently with a solar controller mounted on the wall in the bedroom. I also have a battery monitor coming that will connect to the battery and show how much is being pulled from it, what the expected runtime is going to be, the current status of the battery, and stuff like that. It's going to be important in this configuration to monitor how much power is in the battery and how much I'm actually using. So that's going to be an important piece. But all of this will run through the existing fuse box. There's a disconnect switch right here on the outside of the battery, wherever I end up putting that, so that I can turn the battery off for maintenance on any of these systems without worrying about it. Over here, I'm going to pull power to charge the lithium battery from the flooded batteries through a 20 amp DC to DC converter. So remember that the charging system in the van doesn't produce the voltage necessary to adequately charge this 300 amp hour battery. So I need the DC to DC converter to step the voltage up. The problem being that I can't pull too much from the system because I don't want to tax the alternator. It's not capable of doing high draw charging applications, at least not like what this lithium battery can do. So I have to make sure that I do this the right way. So the compromise, like we talked about the other day, is to run it through a DC to DC converter at a lower amperage. 20 amps isn't that much. It's going to take quite a long time to charge this battery if that were the only charging source. I do have the solar, and I can increase the amount of solar, so you know that will help. But I also monitor my usage anyway, and frankly, you know, half of the time I'm out, I'm going to be driving, so it's going to be capable of charging it while I'm driving without any worries. Still only at 20 amps, but it's still being charged. I will use the existing coach switch, and I had debated on whether or not I wanted to do this. Currently, this switch here turns on all of the 12 volt stuff, but I'm going to be running everything from the lithium system, and I want to take over the fuse box. So instead, I'm going to use this switch because it's already wired, and there's a relay in the battery compartment here that that's controlled by this switch. I'm going to use this to enable or disable the ability to charge the lithium battery. So I can only charge it from solar if I want, or I can turn on the DC to DC converter using this switch and charge it from these batteries and the engine and alternator. One thing that I do get from this setup, if I have completely charged flooded batteries and my lithium battery is almost depleted, I can charge it, albeit not completely, but partially, from these flooded batteries. And then the DC to DC converter has a low voltage cutoff so that I can prevent it from sucking everything out of these batteries up here. But I can at least get some power into the lithium to run the lighting or anything else that requires a little bit of power. So that's a nice feature as well. So I will end this here. I just wanted to give you a quick update on what was happening and the fact that I actually did decide to move forward with this project. So stay tuned. I'll keep you updated on my progress and show you how it goes. And as always, until next time, have a great day.